So what am I going to do? Well, I love writing poetry. This is my life. This is what I want to do. I want to write poetry. Okay, I've got to get a job. Well, what kind of job am I going to get? Of course, I'm going to look for a job as a poet. There's got to be jobs as poets, right? Okay, so I look in the paper. And there is a job that says poet. Arlington County Public Schools is looking for a poet. Yes, Arlington, Virginia. It's on. I apply for the job. I get an interview. They're paying $25 an hour. I got one book out and I'm a poet. $25 an hour. You working 1 hour a day. But it's a job, and I'm a poet, and I still get to write, to do the thing that I know that I want to do, the thing that I want to be my life. So I take the job. The first school, I have to visit schools and read poetry to kids. The first school I go to. Arlington Alternative School. I have no idea what that means, but I'm getting paid $25, and I'm a poet, and I want to make a living as a writer. I don't want this to be my part-time job, so this is going to be my job. I'm going into the schools. I got on my suit. I go into the school. I get through the metal detector. I get patted down by the security guard. I get escorted by the guard and the dog. To the classroom. There is a teacher reading the newspaper, and there are 5 kids over here fighting, 3 kids over here asleep, 2 kids back here laughing. Nobody's paying attention to the teacher. She's reading the paper. She puts the paper down. She says, "Hi, ladies and gentlemen, we have a poet." She puts the paper back up. The kids don't care. In that moment, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do. How am I going to earn my keep, Lynn? How am I going to get paid my $25? What kind of instruction am I going to offer to these kids? And they're not even paying attention, and they're fighting. And I realized at that moment, and this is where the title for the speech came from, that I told Lynn, and I said, "Lynn, the speech is called Dancing Naked on the Floor. If that's a little too much, let me know and I'll change it to something like poetry." And Lynn said, "No, we need a little bit of that." So at that moment, I realized I was going to dance naked on the floor. So I stood up in a chair and I screamed at the top of my lungs. I got up this morning feeling good and black, thinking black thoughts. I did black things like played all my black records and minded my own black business. I put on my best black clothes, walked out my black dough, and Lord have mercy, white snow. And all of a sudden, the kids came alive. And for the next hour, I was able to teach these kids about Nikki Giovanni, Langston Hughes, E.E. Cummings. We even got into Shakespeare. That was my first school visit. Trying to figure out how I was going to live this writerly life, to make a living writing. And I said yes and went to the school, was very intimidated, but decided in that moment that I was going to dance naked on the floor.